720 WGN, Your Money Matters. And there you heard it, the fancy intro, Dan Ficini, that we haven't had here on this show yet. It's because you have been on all day, my friend. Good to see you.
Thanks. Good to see you, John.
Innovation DuPage, you guys do great stuff. No, I've been listening all day from Joe Cassidy in the morning with Bob, and you were on with Lisa. Who'd you have on with John, by the way?
Dr. Siddiqui, who's the president of College of DuPage.
Oh, well, that's a good guest here.
Absolutely.
You brought the A game here today, all to tell the story of what Innovation DuPage does. Our listeners know that story, but I'm thrilled you were able to share it with the rest of the WGN audience who maybe have never had a chance to hear all that you do, because the more people I find that hear about what Innovation DuPage is, the more it just inspires people, makes sense for them to, hey, I've got an idea for a business. I've started a business. I've had a business for a couple years. There's a place for everyone at Innovation DuPage.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess, thinking about it being National Entrepreneurship Month, I just think about you make a brave move at starting your own business, at being an entrepreneur and starting off on your own, and it could be very lonely. And so the great thing about Innovation DuPage is it's a community that can support you, and we have a variety of different resources if you're just starting out, or if you're already a small business and you're already out there for a couple of years. Come to us and we'll try to connect you with additional resources so you can help grow your business.
Yeah, you bring up something good there about the braveness of starting a business. I feel like friends and family, for the most part, they're going to cheer you on. They want you to start that business. Go ahead. It's your passion. And then they're not there for you. I mean, they're there for you at the end of the day, but you know what I mean? They don't have to go through the ups and downs. Maybe your family does, your spouse does, but your friends that rooted you on, they can only do so much. It's nice to surround yourself with other people that are on a similar journey, to talk with them, to make connections with them. It really makes sense to join something like Innovation DuPage.
Absolutely. And then if you think about it, even that community's there, you're only going to sell to them so much. You're going to have to sell to other people. Yes. You're going to have to convince other people you have a good product or service, So you're right. Your immediate community can only help you so much, right. And then you're going to need additional resources in order to be successful.
That's wonderful. We'll chat more about this and the prices and how people can sign up, because I'm always amazed at how, I don't want to say little, but I mean, it's not that big of an investment for you to become a part of something big. But I want to get Adam Jeffries in here. He's from Safety Design, our latest business we've chatted about here at Innovation DuPage. Adam, welcome to WGN.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you here. You're a software guy, huh?
That's correct. Been building software for close to 20 years at this point.
This is usually the part of the conversation when I talk to a software guy where my eyes glaze over, only because I don't know exactly what they're talking about. But you had a chance to explain your business to me, and you did a great job of it. You guys essentially offer custom software solutions for businesses at prices that are pretty comparable to what maybe some big box software stores or companies offer. Is that basically what I got there?
Yeah, ultimately the goal is every business is unique. We're currently focused mostly on the construction industry, but since every business is unique, effectively there's a part that needs to be tailored and custom directly to them. And this is kind of where we come into play. We offer the 90% out-of-the-box solution that everyone seems to provide, but then we kind of add that kind of secret sauce that is you, that makes you unique.
And what you guys really focus on is sort of simplifying the game, the software game. A lot of people have, 7, 8, 9 different programs that they're running to run their construction company. Some of it's the HR, some of it's the bookkeeping, some of it's the logistics of X, Y, and Z, moving the trucks. And what you guys do is try and come up with a solution to tick off as many of those as you can under one roof, right?
Exactly. What we found is most businesses, let's say medium-sized businesses, tend to have 10 pieces of software. Those pieces of software are very robust, very complex, very expensive often, and yet you use 5% of the features they offer. What we're trying to provide is one unified software suite, effectively, that has 5% across 10 different product lines.
Something that really makes sense for a business owner.
Exactly. And we didn't just stumble this, willy-nilly. Effectively, we had a product idea, we shopped it around, and as we talked to multiple businesses, we found what they really needed was that plus a little more to effectively unify what they were already doing.
That's interesting. I love the idea, too, that you spent a lot of time in the tech world. We got to go to a break here, but where did you work before?
Previously at Google, Amazon, State Farm, and other locations.
There's a lot of big names is all I'm saying. And now you went into the entrepreneur world yourself, which is great. More with Adam, more with Dan Ficini, innovationdupage.org. All right, there's that fancy intro. Dan Ficini, all he had to do was go on a bunch of other shows, and They made you a fancy intro, Dan. I love that.
Yeah.
I am an OG Innovation DuPage fan. You guys have been on this program for 4 years now, partly because of your charm and what you bring to Innovation DuPage and really what you guys do.
You flatter me.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's just because I know the holiday party's coming up, so I got to make sure. But it's because you bring really interesting businesses. They run the gamut. We'll chat a little bit more with Adam here in a moment. He did software design. Last month it was toys and Christmas trees. We've had restaurants. We've had cleaning supply companies. We've had people that extract oil from water. Just a wild gamut of businesses that in a big part of what they do and why they succeed is because of what you guys do at Innovation DuPage.
Yeah, and I'm not the architect behind this. I give that a lot of credit to Joe Cassidy and what he's done in the College of DuPage and thinking about this and really being a community resource and really being industry agnostic deliberately. So we serve a gamut full of companies, those Main Street companies we were talking about, but then also the tech companies like Adams. I know that he's been at Innovation DuPage, comes in at all hours of the night in order to get his programming done and, zones in, and I see him working at the desk all the time. So
I love that. Adam Jeffries, Safety Design. We were chatting a little bit about what you do before. All hours of the night, huh, Adam?
Honestly, it's what it takes. You always get the quintessential coder in a hoodie and a Mountain Dew. And, honestly, these days, maybe not so much Mountain Dew anymore, but hoodie's still in fashion.
Baja Blast instead,
exactly,
right?
Yeah, exactly. Get your Celsius out.
Yeah, that's great. You were chatting with us about how basically you hope to, for a smaller, medium-sized business, hey, you've got 10 different software programs. You're paying X amount of dollars for each one of these things. They come with gadgets and gizmos aplenty, and you use basically none of it, or 5% of it. You told me in our chat earlier, it's a little bit similar to like how we use some of our stuff on the computer, right?
Very similar to like Microsoft Word. Everyone has the ribbon at the top, and ultimately everyone clicks bold and header and the same things constantly.
Yeah.
I think ultimately what is good software? Good software is software that gets out of your way, and honestly, you use it as little as possible so you can get back to your actual job.
So what you're saying is that like a Microsoft Word, something we're all familiar with, yeah, we use a few of the features, size, fonts, maybe we insert pictures, which is like the worst thing ever to do in Microsoft Word. But there's like so much more there that has been designed, developed. The money that's gone into design and develop is passed on to you, the customer, even though you're not using it.
Exactly. Often software just grows and grows and grows effectively because, new features are interesting to A/B test, see if they'll help the customer. Ultimately, software is normally built and then they check if the customer approves of it and likes it and enjoys it. Our approach is quite different. We sit down with the customer in advance, actually look at their business processes, look what they do on a daily basis, and then try to create the perfect, ultimately one-button solution around what they do. We found also that cross-linking products, so like my daughter likes to say, better together, if anyone's ever read that book or anything. Effectively, software is better together. And what I mean by that is if you have an HR suite, a CRM, product management, asset management, you get a lot of insights by merging those things together, as well as reducing duplication of efforts.
Can you explain that a little more, like an example? Could it be like how much gets loaded on a truck can translate to the HR, or can translate to how much a driver gets paid? Right now, those are in two different software systems, but maybe they could be merged together, something like that?
You could even take that analogy and go farther. Effectively, let's say you're a project manager, you need to order bags of concrete. So you order bags of concrete for a specific project, and now that specific project, now you can track it to a specific vendor. That vendor now ships it. That shipped vendor now receives it in a warehouse somewhere. That warehouse, often a lot of these are the same company. Then you can validate they have a proper CDL because they're in the same HR system. By putting all these systems in one place, you very much catch things that weren't caught before, as well as, again, just easier, less duplication, less effort, as well as the system can propose new actions to you and propose insights that honestly didn't exist before when things were disjoint. Ultimately, we find people at the end of the day, they got all this fancy software, and then you have one rogue employee who still has their Excel spreadsheet because you know why? They actually can use it. It's simple enough to keep track of things. They can share it. You'd be surprised how much of every business, no matter what software they have, is run off of file storage in Excel spreadsheets.
Are your customers primarily out of Illinois right now, or? or?
Yeah, primarily out of Illinois focused here. Honestly, Illinois is a large enough market, and since we are effectively sitting down and doing tailored solutions to them, it is much easier to be co-located and close by.
What does Innovation DuPage offered for you? How have they helped you grow?
Well, I was one of the first new members coming out of the pandemic there. And honestly, at first, it was quite lonely. I was sitting in Innovation DuPage by myself for many nights. And I do think, at least me particular, one of the biggest things they offer is a group of like-minded people who are struggling through the same problems, and honestly, like people to vent to as you reach your struggles and you have ideas. It is nice to be near them, because as much as family and friends can be encouraging, they don't feel the same pain that you're feeling to make it to these spots.
And I imagine, I don't know if it's happened for you, but you've probably seen it with other companies too. Connections, right? Someone knows someone who knows someone. And look, I'm going to put my buddy that's there all night at Innovation DuPage, I'm going to recommend them to this company I know. That sort of stuff happens, right? That's how business works.
Frankly, just, the classic diversity of thought. The amount of times I've showed a product to someone and they're like, you know what, have you thought of this? And then frankly, scope grows, but ultimately they're fantastic ideas. They are problems that you wouldn't have thought of the other experience.
I love that. Dan, Adam, I think is just preaching to exactly what you're aiming to get across to people today.
Yeah, and Adam's being modest, because I've been in meetings where Adam's made a suggestion to other companies and they've implemented them right away. Like, oh my gosh, I've gone down the wrong path in developing my app or how I'm approaching this. And that's what it's all about. And when that kind of thing happens, live, where entrepreneurs are helping one another and we're talking about those problems, there's some real magic going on at ID.
This isn't all about Innovation DuPage making a ton of money. This is an operation that you guys have in conjunction with, Glen Ellen, you're great partners with College of DuPage. You're trying to bring economic activity and help businesses grow to eventually employ people in the area to grow. It's about growing everybody together.
Yeah, it sounds very grassrootsy, but it's a community really initiative, and that's was the original intention, and that's what we're trying to achieve.
If a business is out there, a new business says this is going to be too much money, how much roughly is someone maybe going to spend?
You can join Innovation DuPage for as low as $50 a month. So I think we make it pretty affordable. We want everybody to have skin in the game, at least, invest in their own development and in their own business. So, but for $50 a month to get the resources we provide, I think it's pretty economical.
It's huge. InnovationDuPage.org for more, yeah?
Yep.
AdamSafetyDesign.com for more, yeah?
Yep.
Good job, Adam. Nice work. Dan,
Thank you.
You did pretty good, too.
Thanks, John.
All right. Very good stuff. That's the great friends at Innovation DuPage. We'll chat with them in December.